When the brain's cleaning system fails, the hidden link to brain aging, imagine living in a city where the garbage collection system suddenly stopped working. At first, nothing dramatic would happen. People would still go to work. Traffic would still move through the streets. Shops would still open in the morning. But slowly, almost invisibly, something would begin to change. Trash would start to accumulate in alleys. Waste would pile up in corners. Debris would linger on sidewalks that were once clean. And over time, the entire city would begin to feel heavier, slower, and more polluted. Now, imagine that city is your brain. Every day, billions of neurons burn energy to power your thoughts, memories, and attention. And just like any active system, this process generates waste. Protein fragments, metabolic byproducts, molecules produced during neural signaling. Under healthy conditions, the brain removes this waste through its nightly cleaning system, the glymphatic system. But what happens when that cleaning system begins to fail? What happens when the brain's internal sanitation process slows down? The answer may hold one of the most important clues to understanding how the brain ages. As we explored in previous videos, the glymphatic system is activated primarily during deep slow-wave sleep. During this stage of sleep, brain cells slightly shrink, opening microscopic spaces that allow cerebrospinal fluid to flow through neural tissue. This fluid acts like a cleaning solution, washing away waste molecules that accumulated during the day. But the efficiency of this system depends on several delicate conditions. The brain must enter deep sleep. Fluid channels must remain open. And the molecular machinery that controls fluid movement must function properly. When any of these factors begin to deteriorate, the brain's cleaning process weakens. And when that happens, waste begins to accumulate. One of the most studied waste molecules in neuroscience is beta-amyloid. Beta-amyloid is a small protein fragment produced naturally during normal neural activity. Every time neurons communicate with each other, this fragment can be generated. Under normal circumstances, beta-amyloid is cleared away quickly. But when the glymphatic system becomes less efficient, these fragments begin to accumulate. And over time, they begin to stick together. These clusters form sticky plaques that lodge themselves between neurons. These plaques disrupt neural communication. They trigger inflammation. And they interfere with the brain's ability to process information efficiently. These beta-amyloid plaques are one of the defining characteristics of Alzheimer's disease. But the story does not stop there. Another protein called tau also plays a major role in neurodegeneration. Tau proteins normally help stabilize the internal structure of neurons. But when tau proteins become damaged or misfolded, they can begin to form tangled fibers inside brain cells. These structures are known as neurofibrillary tangles. Just like beta-amyloid plaques, these tangles interfere with normal neural function. And just like beta-amyloid, the accumulation of abnormal tau proteins may be influenced by how efficiently the brain clears metabolic waste. In other words, when the brain's cleaning system slows down, both amyloid plaques and tau tangles may begin to accumulate. Over time, these changes can alter the physical structure of the brain itself. One of the most fascinating discoveries in recent neuroscience research is that glymphatic efficiency appears to decline with age. As we grow older, several physiological changes occur inside the brain. Blood vessels become slightly stiffer. The pulsations that normally help drive cerebrospinal fluid movement become weaker. Astrocytes, the cells that regulate fluid channels, may lose some of their flexibility. And the molecular water channels, known as aquaporin, may become less organized. Each of these changes reduces the efficiency of fluid circulation inside the brain. And when fluid movement slows, waste removal slows as well. This means that aging brains may simply become less effective at cleaning themselves. The nightly rinse cycle becomes weaker. The flow of fluid becomes slower, and waste begins to linger longer inside neural tissue. But the consequences of this process are not limited to long-term diseases. Many people experience the immediate effects of impaired brain cleaning in the form of brain fog. Brain fog is not a medical diagnosis, but it is a widely recognized experience. It can include symptoms such as difficulty concentrating, slower thinking, reduced memory recall, mental fatigue, a feeling that the brain is working through thick fog. While many factors contribute to brain fog, one possible explanation involves incomplete glymphatic cleaning. If the brain fails to clear metabolic waste during sleep, the chemical environment surrounding neurons becomes less optimal. Neurons may struggle to transmit signals efficiently. Neurotransmitter balance may become disrupted, and cognitive clarity begins to fade. In this sense, brain fog may represent a temporary accumulation of neural waste, a signal that the brain's nightly cleaning cycle was incomplete. Sleep disruption is one of the most common reasons this cleaning system fails. Modern life is full of factors that fragment deep sleep. Artificial light exposure late at night can suppress melatonin production. Late-night screen use can shift circadian rhythms. Caffeine can delay sleep pressure. Stress hormones can interrupt deep sleep cycles. And sleep disorders, such as sleep apnea, can repeatedly interrupt the stages of sleep that activate glymphatic flow. Even if a person spends 8 hours in bed, fragmented sleep can prevent the brain from entering sustained slow-wave sleep. Without slow-wave sleep, the glymphatic system cannot function efficiently. The pressure washer never turns on, and the brain begins the next day without completing its maintenance cycle. Interestingly, research suggests that the decline of glymphatic function may begin long before symptoms of neurological disease appear. In some studies, reduced glymphatic flow has been observed years before the clinical onset of Alzheimer's disease. This suggests that impaired brain cleaning may be an early factor in the disease process. Rather than simply being a consequence of neurodegeneration, glymphatic dysfunction may help drive it. This idea has led scientists to explore whether improving sleep quality might help slow the progression of neurological diseases. If deep sleep enhances glymphatic flow, then protecting deep sleep could help maintain a cleaner neural environment. While research is ongoing, this possibility has generated enormous interest in sleep science. Sleep may not only restore the brain, it may protect it. Another intriguing factor influencing glymphatic flow is physical movement and cardiovascular health. Regular exercise improves blood circulation and vascular flexibility. Because the glymphatic system relies partly on the pulsation of blood vessels to drive fluid movement, healthier blood vessels may support more efficient brain cleaning. This means that lifestyle choices affecting cardiovascular health may also influence the brain's ability to remove waste. Exercise, diet, and metabolic health may all contribute indirectly to glymphatic efficiency. The brain's cleaning system does not operate in isolation. It is connected to the broader physiology of the body. Scientists are also investigating how sleeping position may influence brain cleaning. Some studies suggest that sleeping on the side, known as the lateral position, may promote more efficient glymphatic drainage than sleeping flat on the back. The reasons are still being studied, but fluid dynamics and gravity may play a role. In the lateral position, cerebrospinal fluid may move more easily along drainage pathways. Although more research is needed, this discovery highlights how subtle factors can influence brain maintenance. The discovery of the glymphatic system has fundamentally changed how scientists think about brain aging. For decades, neurodegenerative diseases were viewed primarily as problems of neuron death. But we now understand that the environment surrounding neurons plays an equally important role. The brain must maintain a clean chemical environment to function properly. Waste must be removed. Fluid must circulate. And neural tissue must remain chemically balanced. When this balance fails, the consequences ripple across the entire brain. Communication slows, inflammation increases, and cognitive function begins to decline. The brain is one of the most complex systems in the universe. It contains billions of neurons and trillions of connections. Yet even this extraordinary organ depends on something surprisingly simple: cleaning, a quiet, invisible rinse cycle that occurs every night. Fluid flows through microscopic channels, toxins are removed, waste is cleared away, and the brain prepares itself for another day of thought. But when that cleaning system weakens, the effects accumulate slowly over time. And understanding this hidden process may be one of the keys to protecting cognitive health. In the next video, we will explore one of the most common everyday signals that your brain's cleaning system may not be working efficiently. A signal millions of people experience after a poor night of sleep. Brain fog. We will examine what brain fog actually is, why it appears after sleep disruption, and what it may reveal about the chemical environment inside your brain. Because sometimes the brain sends subtle signals that its internal maintenance system needs attention.